All right, back in Satisfactory. And exciting news if you missed the stream yesterday. We found the alternate recipe for diluted fuel. So we've got some cool options to look for today. That might be where I start, actually, is taking a look at that recipe. That's going to need the blender, though, so we're going to have to figure out how to make the things that we need for that. Because there's going to be a lot of them. It's going to be the main way we power our save, our entire world with the new content. So curious to see just how much fuel and where that's going to be, which is good because I'm getting kind of stuck in some places on Devastator, but I'll get you up to speed on where we are with everything. So if we look at the train, we have a train that we tried to hook up and it's still not hooked up at that end, but we've got this train that comes in here and eventually it's going to go into the main building, right? But when it comes in here, we don't have room on this level to dock it. Or rather, I guess we sort of do, but I don't want to move all that stuff. So I've brought it down here underneath everything where there's just a bunch of useless space because of the way that the rocks are underneath here. And so I've brought it so it turns around. It's ugly. I don't know if I want to keep it, but it functions anyway. That gets the train station down here. And you're like, well, why are you putting it down here? Well, the idea is that all the output from the train station would come out in these lifts and then go up to that location right there, which is our storage system, which is where we just were standing. So the idea is that it's meant to feed our storage system. And I'll go upstairs and give you a look from a bird's eye view. For people tuning into the Satisfactory stream, not coming in from Minecraft, my name is Joel Duggan. I do a lot of variety streaming here on Twitch, but right now we're focusing mostly on Minecraft and Satisfactory. Some art stream coming next week. But yeah, so there's the train station there. I can only fit 5 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. But that messes up with some stuff down there as well. Alternatively, we could just put it up on the main level. Like, we don't have to sink it into the floor. I would just have to figure out a way to get the train to turn around in here, in this space. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really figured it out yet. I did add another bit here. I added this thing, and I don't know if I like it. I'm not sure if we're going to keep it. But I'm not putting a lot of time into the storage system because I want to make sure we have the storage feed worked out. And if the storage system has to move, you know, 3 meters that way or 3 foundations that way, I'd rather not mess around with that. Is your storage just on its own little factory, or is it fed from the rest of the structure? So the way that I want to do this is we've got another base. We've got another factory that's way over here. In where is it? It's right here. So we've got another factory right here. I'm going to hook a train up here. We're going to run the train all the way down the valley, and it's going to connect in here, come into Devastator, and then it's going to drop off stuff. Because I don't want to... I mean, I could siphon off things in here, but it's really complicated to start to pull from production and stick it into your storage system. So I don't know exactly how to approach that. And I thought a train would be fun, really. No, Sweet Sandy, I didn't. I'm going to have to do that afterwards. The thing I'm going to look at now, I think, is going to be the power. Love the colored lights. Thanks. Yeah, it's fun. I like messing with the colored lights, too. So this is the blender. This is the new building that we've got in Update 4. And it takes... It's got a solid output and a liquid output, but it also has... 2 solid inputs and 2 liquid inputs. And what we're going to be making is 100 per minute of diluted fuel, and it requires water, a lot of water, and heavy oil residue. But this blender requires those control units. Can't remember what they're called. Radio control units, which need casings, oscillators, and computers. We're making computers, we're making casings, we're not making oscillators automated anywhere that I know. So that's the bottleneck there. Our power currently is not terrible. We're using 4,500 out of 8,500. But as far as the radio control unit, that requires a manufacturer. So we might have to start making some of those just temporarily by hand. Yeah, oscillators are a pain. Yeah. Yep, I know. We've got the quartz though, and we've got the we can do the cable and do the iron plates and stuff. I've got some iron plates alternates as well. We've got stitched plating, so no screws, which is great, and we've got rubber plating. I'm probably going to go with the stitch plating because we've got more copper than we know what to do with. We've got all of these. I'm not sure we can see them from up here. There's a bunch of refineries just down there, and they're making copper, or they will be making copper when we turn them on. So we've got copper to do stitched iron plates. We're also wasting a lot of silica, and I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because there's not enough scrap happening, but there's a lot of silica going into kitchen sinks or awesome sinks. But this is moving and grooving though. I'm happy with the production here. Yeah, we got a second floor on it, so you can't see them, but there's all these refineries down there. Where are they? All those in there. I think there's 28 of them, and they're going to be making copper ingots. And then we've got... Why is that stopped? That seems like an odd thing. What's going on here? Oh, did stuff get... Oh, there's copper on the belt. That's annoying. I made a mistake and I ended up with copper on... I was rerouting materials and I ended up with copper on a belt, and the thing is, like, once you get into the late game and you can use smart splitters, you should try to use them as often as you can, because they keep this kind of stuff from happening, where splitters just kind of like put whatever they want into a machine, and it hides like just inside the mouth of the machine, and so you can't visually see what the issue is. There we go. So yeah, so we're making quartz crystals. We have quite a few. A useful bench, hello, how's it going? Mixed screw gun, yes indeed, double feature. See, I'm not sure about the train. If we're going to put the train, if we're going to lose this space anyway to a train station, I might as well just put the train station right on this level. And then we can take the train, and instead of having to go down and under everything, we can just have it go straight across here. We could have it come down here, and then we could just have it turn wherever we want. It's only just the train. And we could have it just like curl around in here somewhere, come around. We could have a much larger train. So yeah. I need to figure out how much refinery production is needed for this fuel station. So 50 oil residue per minute. So that's the purple heavy oil residue. If we make a refinery up here, we have the ability to make that as an offshoot, but we also have the ability to make it on its own on purpose with a byproduct of polymer. And we also have a way to make plastic. I think. Thought I had. Yeah. So it requires a refinery so we can turn the polymer with more water into plastic. So we don't have to make plastic out of oil, which is fantastic. They like their water in the late game. They sure do, but that's okay because we've got a massive water factory all laid out with proportions and stuff ready to go. So I'm not worried about water. So yeah, so the refinery, residual plastic, polymer resin, and water. So it's deceptive. They don't give you I'll look at it. So there's no byproduct. So we can make our plastic out of the polymer resin that's coming out of our factory. So what we're going to do is take, this is 30 per minute, and it makes 40 per minute. So I'm pretty sure that this is the best way to do the fuel, because I can't think of any other way. That makes 20 per minute. That makes 20 per minute. That makes 10 per minute. I don't want to do diluted packaged fuel, because that only makes 60 per minute. Heavy oil residue makes 40 per minute. But remember, we're making 100 per minute out of this. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is just use the heavy oil residue. I think we've got all the alts for that. Yeah. 40 per minute. It only makes 20 per minute. Yep. So the input is 30 crude oil per minute. And then down at this oil field, we've got 300, 300, 600, and 600. We're going to go take a look at that just to kind of make sure that my beacons aren't wrong. They probably are not. We might have to start thinking about putting a hypertube in here. We're going to be driving back and forth to the power facility via drive. I don't want to do all the time. I think putting a hypertube on the right hand side here would probably be worth our while. The good news is we can start off with just some of this. We don't have to do all of it at once. So you can see our temporary power facility over on the right here. And you can see the 4 oil nodes here. And there's no higher tier of oil extractor, like you only get the one model. So this is overclocked to 300 per minute. There's no upgrade for it. Yeah, 300 per minute. That's 300 per minute. And the water facility is like right there. At least the other end of it. This is one of the big boys. So this is cranked up to 600 per minute, and previously we didn't have tier 2 pipes, but now that we've got Mark II pipes, we can take in this 600, no problem. And the way that we planned this out was to take all 4 of these nodes and bring them down towards a location where we could build something larger. We may have to go above this, I'm not really sure. There's the other 600 per minute. So currently this is being used in our temporary power production right now. But if we take a look at where we are on the map, you can see that I've got all this open space, basically, to do a power facility. So that's why I chose this location for it. And while we're here, we might as well pick up some more fuel. So previously we had regular fuel, packaged fuel being made in our first factory, but they changed the recipe, and it is now you need a packager for water, you need plastic turning into canisters, and a packager for water. But now we've got lots. Although I don't know why it stopped. Not getting any heavy oil residue. Plastic is backed up? I don't know what happened. I guess the belt couldn't keep up. 60 per minute. 60 per minute. It's making 20 per minute, and this needs 30. So that should have worked out. I mean, the simple solution is just trash this. should be good to go. Is it not pumping? Like, what's... There we go. Is it just this little incline that it can't handle? This thing's got a head lift of 10 meters. It's filling up slowly. That's obviously the problem. Alright, well, we'll leave it do its thing. Maybe we'll trash that as well. Give it some extra legs. It's just a temporary manual setup anyway. So yeah, we've got lots of room to go south down that way. Up here, which is great. But my calculations on the... or at least my notes on the oil seem to be accurate. So we've got 1,200, 1,800 crude oil. So I think that's going to be 60 refineries. That's a lot of refineries. So if we take a second here at the top, you can see all that space to the south there. We can make a really cool looking building. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have to... I think what I'm going to do as I come and make these separate buildings, I think I'm going to start to look at different Transformers to kind of model them after. Decepticons, of course. Hey CJ, how's it going? So I'm pretty sure that's 60 refineries. I have to wait till we get back to look at the blender again to do the math, but I don't remember what the blender needed for crude oil, or for heavy oil residue. Will be very cool when we start to get like outside walls and other stuff on here. Feels very much like a frame right now. Right, needs 30, so 60 refineries. Which needs another 1,800 megawatts. That's going to bring us very close to the top. And this needs 50 oil residue per unit. And we could potentially overclock these as well. It would just use more crude oil. And then use less... I wonder what that would look like. We'd have to have 180 powered units, which I know I don't have. Power shards. So target rate would be 100 per minute. (250%). But that would mean 30 times means 75. So we wouldn't need nearly as many refineries. We'd only need 24. Wow. That's really cool. But we don't have the shards for it. So, I mean, the good news is it's going to self-sustain, so it'll power itself. So forget that. But 40 per minute. This needs 50 per minute. There's going to be 2,400. 40 times 60 refineries is an output of 2,400. Heavy oil residue. Wow. 2,400 divided by 50. It's 48. 48 blenders. That's going to look really cool. These are cool looking buildings. If we get up on the refinery. Take it easy, McScrewgun. Thanks very much. Always good to see you. Yeah, like these look really neat. So imagine 48 of these all lined up. I think that's going to look cool. Right down there. So 48 would require 4,800 water. And 4,800 water divided by 120 is 40. That's not that many. That's not even half of our water production. This is all very, very doable. We just have to, I think, address the crystal oscillator problem. I'm not sure where we're going to build those. What did they need again? Cable. That's easy. Plates. We'd have to decide how we're going to do plates. Because we're not making these permanently here. Cable will be easy. And we're bringing enough quartz in for the silica. We're bringing more quartz than we need to. Right. So the plan is going to be we need 60 refineries. We need 48 blenders. But they require radio control units. And what else did they need? Oh, the heavy modular frames. I'm not making those. Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, those are back at the other factory. So the only thing we're not making automatically is the radio control units. And then out of that, we're not making crystal oscillators either. I've kind of gotten ahead of myself in the tech in the game. So I don't have all of the lower mid-game stuff automated yet. So 48 blenders, and that's going to be pumping out 4,800 fuel per minute. And I think a fuel plant if I can find some place to build it. So this is the end result. I think it's 12. Don't remember what it needs. It doesn't say. We should also think about putting some batteries into the plan as well. I think it's 12. But we could underclock it too to have it be even. But for easy math, 400 fuel generators. That's a lot. But that's going to be like a tower. Gosh, getting all the fuel up that high is going to be tricky too. A few. Right? What was I going to look up? I think they generate 150 megawatts a piece. I don't remember. So then that's 400. 400 times 150 is... That's only 60,000? 60,000 megawatts? I mean, it's more than the 8 that we're using right now. But that's a lot of work to only get 60,000 megawatts. I mean, it'll do us for a while, that's for sure. I would expect it. I thought it was going to be into the 6 digits. People that have 6-digit power production must be into nuclear. It has to be the only way to do that. Alright, so I guess the next thing is to look at crystal oscillators. Need that, and there was something else I didn't need in here. So crystal oscillators. I don't think I have any quartz coming into the other factory, as far as I know. So these only make 1 per minute. And the radio control units I guess I need to make a manufacturer. .75. Crystal oscillators. No, I want the radio control unit. Requires 1.25 crystal oscillators per minute. 40 in computers. So it makes 2.5 per minute. I wish that the codecs in the game would tell you what the other things that radio control units are used for. Looks like they're just in turbo motors. There are some oscillator alternates, but they need items like plastic or rubber. Yeah, no, I know. I'm okay with the basic. That's not a hard thing to make. It's just that we're not making them yet. So it looks like radio control units are also turbo motors as well. So we probably want to have a decent amount of radio control units. I would imagine whatever is just a good round number for what's needed for something like turbo motors. But yeah, I don't see anything else. Okay. So these need 3.75 per minute. I'm not sure what a nice round number is in terms of 3.75. I would likely underclock these to make the math easier. Alright, well, first things first, we're going to have to get our reinforced plates happening here. So we will attack the iron. So right now we've got all of this being produced when it is moving. It is being turned into plates, but then out here on this kind of temporary floor, we've got some screws are being made, and we've got some reinforced plates that are being made just for personal storage and personal use, but they're not in a production line. So the idea would be that all of these plates that you're seeing being made here would be moved on down the line into whatever the next building is and wherever the next building is. Not sure where that's going to be, but what I want to do first is have all the smelting taken care of, and we were going to do refineries up top, but I don't think I want to bring water all the way down here. I don't think that's the best idea. Also, we'd need 50, I think it was 52 refineries. And currently in this space, there's only something like 18. So it's just going to be too much room. I feel like in here we could fit 2 floors of these smelter setups. And I think it's going to cost less power too. So what we have here are 3 belts of iron ore coming in there. And 3 belts of iron ore coming in there. No, that's only 2. Yeah, so there's only 2 here. Don't know where those two are coming from. I feel like these are coming from the trains. I know that these three here are coming from underneath over there to the west. So we should go and check to see whether those need power slugs. And upgrade those if they need to. So if you're new to Satisfactory, then setting up smelters is a pretty basic task. I'm going to just see if I can come up with a cool way to do it that looks neat. We did some fun stuff with foundation frames and getting them up off the ground, but we'll see what we have room for. Will, I know that you've been playing a lot of Satisfactory, pretty active in the Discord as well. Things are going well. You're liking it. I came up here for power shards. I need to go down this way. So all over the map, we've got a crazy amount of iron in this area in particular. I'm now to the point where I'm doing some smaller factories to replace my starter setup. Typical new player spawn is a wreck. Yeah, no, when you first start out in the game, there's always like a little bit of a weird thing that happens. So this way is where we have all of our southern iron. You'll see all those iron nodes just... There's one here, there, and there. But I don't think they have additional stuff, because it looks like they're 270 belts. That just won't do. I try to keep my harvesting belts and stuff organized as best I can. They're also currently off. Try not to build anything too fancy. Why is that here? Strange. Right, so these need to be increased. I also have the ability to do Mark III miners, which is extraction rate is 240 resources per minute. This is this a Mark III? No. That's a pure node. What happens? I think if I... Oh man, I can't even build those. What is that? Turbo motors? That's why we're not using these. It's because they're crazy expensive. I don't know how you get those platforms so nicely aligned under the miners. You can snap the miner to the node and it'll snap on the platform. Build the platform first, and then when you go to build your miner, aim at the node and it'll snap up there. And then you can just use your mouse wheel to rotate it back and forth. And they're not perfect. Like, look, there's like a little, there's always a little adjustment you have to make, but you never know. All right, so that's why we're not building these, is because we don't have turbo motors and we don't have whatever those are. Some sort of frame. We can't even do them yet. All right, well that's fine. We'll do power shards on this then. That's 600 parts per minute. I guess the advantage of the Mark III miner is it would do 600 without the power shard, or with less power shards, because there's nothing larger than a 720 belt. So where's my little beacon? There it is. Iron P Mark II. Overclocked to 600 per minute. we are going to have to update the belt. Alright, that's that one. To go and look at this other one. Same thing. I love that we have aluminum automated now. It makes these adjustments so much better. So much easier. This is overclocked. .600 parts per minute. Alright, so that's that one. Those are those two miners there. There's a third one over here. What's that? Copper? Don't remember. Looks like the belt's already been done for this one. And yes, I know they have no power. There's a switch back at the main factory that we have turned off. So this is now also overclocked. $600 per minute. And it already has the right amount of belt stuff. Limestone and I'm guessing copper. Yeah, right. I think that's for the that's for the refineries. Alright, so it is the top 3 belts are all iron. That'll be very easy to keep track of. We're probably going to run out of aluminum. And then we get into this craziness. I think that's all right. I don't want to forget about the lift either. The lift is going to be... Well, it's already a Mark 5. Okay. That's good. So, Mark 5s. Mark 5, Mark 5. But somewhere along here it was not Mark 5. Aha. Yep, totally gonna run out of aluminum. Yep, that's right. We're not that far. That's good. Should probably put a hypertube along here too if we ever need to come back out again. So these all come in across the top here and go right underneath the main bus and connect to the other side. And we can change where they pop up. They don't have to come up where we currently have them. Also, this is work hazard, slightly disconnected. Might have to try and figure out how we can install some lights in there too. It's gonna be hard waiting like 2 months for early access for the update 5 to hit early access, so that I can start doing like real base shaping and decorating and stuff. We short on anything else? Doesn't look like it. Not sure how we're going to handle the storage train either. We're going to have to figure out a way to get multiple items into the same train car. Obviously a lot of smart splitters are going to be needed. So this is another 1800 iron per minute in ore, which is a 1-to-1 change to ingots. So there's no fancy math there. It's just straight up one smelter does 30 in, 30 out. That's right. Pretty sure I had planned for these to be 600 belts. These are Mark IIIs. Nope, they need to be the beasties. And then we've got 5, 5, 5. And this is where it goes underneath the main bus. I love that you can just build them and replace rather than having to tear them out and build them up again. Very cool. Right, okay, so here's where I'll put in the Mark Vs now just in case we leave them there. But this is where we need to decide if this is going to be where we bring them into the building. It may not be here. Because we've got all the space, we can bring them in wherever we want. So that might not happen there. But what I like to do in these situations is leave myself a beacon because we don't have signs in the game. I wish we did. So grab a beacon and we'll just go west, iron. So we get 1800 coming in there. And I don't know what this is because I didn't leave myself a beacon. So past Joel, was not happy about it. It's less than 600 because they're on 480 belts. Simple signs are really needed. I agree. I agree. Let's jump in here. And we'll have to figure out where that iron's coming from. So I'm pretty sure it's these top two belts. The bottom two belts are coming in from the mines over there. These three here. Overclocked to 300. They're just overclocked to 300? Oh, because they're not pure. Right. We'll have to watch the VOD for the end. Time to catch some Z's. Take it easy, Sweet Sandy. Thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic evening. Always great to see you. This is coming in from Scavenger, I think. Yep. So this is 2 iron belts. Scavenger's got 600 per minute. Why is it on 2 belts? Maybe we didn't have aluminum belts when we built it. That, or it's a it's a 205-second trip. So what was that? It was 600. Yeah, 600 per minute. So divided by 60 is 10 per second. So 205 seconds. 2050. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So 2050. We've got to move 2050. Every load should be 2050. I'm still struggling with the way that people calculate throughput on the map, because this is putting 600 per minute into a train station. The train station has more than enough capacity to handle the 3.5 minute trip. So, or 205 seconds to be precise. So it'll be 2050 built up in here and then picked up and then dropped off. And then the 2050 has a chance for it to drain out, right? So 2050 over 205 seconds is 600 per minute. So we don't need 2 belts. They're already installed. And they're doing 480 resources per minute, which is not enough, I don't think. 8. $480 resources per minute. And what's 205? 3.416. So 480 times 3.416. And if it was a 720 belt, yeah, one 720 belt would, or 780 belt, one 780 belt would totally do this. I'm using up a belt space. The problem that I have is that I don't know when I put a 780 belt down whether it's always going to be full of 780 per minute. Because that's the max it'll pull out of the container, but if the container doesn't have 780 per minute in it, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, 2050 is the number that we have to remember. Because I guess it doesn't matter what speed the belts are. There's 2 belts. That's more than enough to drain it. And I guess if it's already split, then we don't have to worry about it. Why can't you take away one? I could. It's just a lot of work. So knowing that I can take away one is, I guess, the battle. The other thing is that when you get it in here, you tend to have to split them and break them down anyway. So if that's the case, actually I shouldn't put that there. I should put it like here. This is scavenger, iron, 250. Throughput, which is it should be 600 per minute, because like I said, 600 times 3.416, right? That's 2050. So we have to think about 600 plus 1800. So divided by 30 is 80. 80 smelters. That's 30. So we'd have to have another row. Plus we have the space. I think we've got the space mapped out. Yeah, we've given ourselves a little bit of leeway here. So that might be a good spot to bring in the iron, actually. So we're going to remove these. As cool as it looks. Thankfully it didn't take us that long to sort out. Oh. Anything in here I don't need? And then we've got this wall here. And our new kind of like way that we're constructing things is having deep walls. We don't have a lot of room to do the production layout. But we could definitely fit 3 floors if we needed to. I'm not sure how many we'd get this way, but probably... Well, they take up a foundation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 easily. So that's 20. Yeah, we could just dedicate this whole thing to smelting iron. I think that'll work. And then... So this is the middle here. So we'd probably line them up in the middle. Have them do something cool. And in terms of floors, I really don't know... That's the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I feel like we could probably do 3 floors. Gonna be a smoky place. I learned not to use glass ceilings in a smeltery. What does a glass ceiling do in a smeltery? Just a lot of particle effects and makes it lag? I'm gonna leave the ceiling open, I think. A lot of black smoke effects, yeah. So then same thing. 1, 2, 3. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we could do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could. What would be cool? Because this is the front of Devastator. What would be really neat is if we could line them up so that the black smoke effects are coming out the front of the building. So if our top floor of smelters is lined up with the top of that, then there could be smoke effects coming out of it, which could be really cool. Get a break train coming by anytime soon? I'm not sure if I can get up high enough. Yeah, okay, there we go. So yeah, if we look here, if I line the top floor up so that the smelters stick out the top, that would look really cool. Give some detail and whatnot. I think it would look really cool. I could be wrong. I don't see Mixmaster coming. Oh, I see movement. Vehicles. Scavenger. Oh, Mixmaster's coming. Okay, cool. We'll catch Mixmaster. If you're new to the channel, I take a break about once an hour. And I give my eyeballs a rest, grab a snack, that kind of thing. And what I do is I ride the train. So I'll take the train up into the Red Forest, where we're gathering all the bauxite for our aluminum production. The fun ride. And last time I think I remembered I put like photo mode on and I backed up the focal length so that people could see what's going on. Just waiting for the train. Here it comes now. took forever to find the route for that train to get up to the Red Forest. So yeah, I think if we do 3 floors of 20, that gets us 60 smelters, and then we can do the other 20 just somewhere else. And then that whole building just becomes iron smelting. All right. So like I said, I just pop away for about 6 or 7 minutes and enjoy the view as the sun comes up. I'll see you in just a bit. right. Whoops. Back at it. So yeah, I think we're gonna go up to the top of that and see what we can figure out. How many cars is your longest train? I want to say maybe 6. You can go up to 12, but I think after that you have to, or when you go to 12, you have to have a second locomotive on the front. So what I say, we could do 20 down here. So 20, 60, 20, 40, 60, 80. I wonder how we can do this and have the tops exposed. Right, so this is technically the top. We can always make minor adjustments. But if I was to look at a smelter... So they're just too tall. So we could get away with a foundation that would be 2 from the top. What did I do? I think I did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then level. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. But then we'd have to do a 3rd floor that would be above everything. So if we squish this, it's gonna feel a little claustrophobic. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that means that the smelter could then go up here at this level. And we could maybe raise them up a little bit to have them poke through. We can even change the way that they sit. I mean, that's not enough that's going to be seen from anywhere, so I feel like if we do this, we might want to go higher. I think that sticking out looks kind of cool. I may come to regret this decision, I don't know. So for this, we could easily put like a foundation frame. I think that could be fun. Plus, like I said, I want to try and keep the middle open. That would be our levels here. And these would be wrong. And then the edge is here. Now, one thing I did forget about is that I started to angle the roof here, so hopefully we have enough room before the roof starts to disappear. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets us our 80, I think. Cool. So now the question remains, what orientation do we put these in? And I would say probably on these floors, we do nothing crazy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine and 10. That even keeps it within, almost within this building. Not that I was planning on putting a door or anything here anyway. All right. So really we could just handle each floor same way. So we've got 10 in each row. That's 300. It's going to be easy enough to split most of those lines. The only thing that's going to be crazy complicated is that the stuff coming in from the train. But we've got 1800. That's 6 different lines. I'm just going to do the overflow method, probably going to be the easiest thing to do. Then we just have to take these and split them all at once. That's why I think I might want to bring them up over here, if possible. Because then we could just have that split into 6 different lines and handle each of these. I mean, alternatively, we could also just run this down the entire way, but I kind of want to start to do like other plate things here as needed. So that's the way that's gonna go. So we'll have, I guess, splitters will be, that makes sense. A little bit too far away to see what I'm doing. So we'll put this right on the line. So that's the input. So I'll be nice and tidy, that's for sure. Gives us some room to decorate and do some interesting stuff with the wall. I guess the export downstairs I went high. So they export up into a chain above everything. I don't know what this is for. Oh, that's the loop around feed. Right. Right, these are all pointed in the same direction. Because I needed to fit 30. I should figure out where that's coming from too, because we might be able to grab that iron and do more with it as well. Is the night shorter than the day? Oh, by far. The night is only 5 minutes. Daytime is 50. Hey, Rabelais, how's it going? So I guess that's the other thing I need to look at is these three guys. If they're maxed out. I want to say they are. They're in a cool looking building. They're in this thing over there. Because it should be 900 iron per minute, which would account for the 30 smelters currently being used. I don't go over there very often, actually. No need, really. I think I was messing around in this build with the new base parts when they first came out, the angled stuff. Yeah, these are maxed out at 300 per minute. Okay. So 300 per minute is 900 per minute out of the whole facility. Smelters take 30, so 30 smelters is what that's for. Okay, cool. That's our bottom floor. So I don't have to worry about those at all. There is more iron in the immediate area, but it's closer to the back of the base. So I'm not going to worry about it up here. So those all come in there. I may want to change the location where they come in to like maybe over here, so that we can bring these up and put them in right there. You sure do put your super polluting massive factories in the prettiest spots. Thanks. I like to think so. And This was all built very early and it's very messy, the underside of this thing, but we'll eventually get a chance to clean it up. Alright, so we're going to have to think about where this is going to be bringing belts in. If that's going to be on the edge like that, we are probably going to want to do some form of high import. Probably as a single belt or double. Because we could use this space here to split things up. So we have, it'll eventually be our 3 inputs here. And then we can use this space to get everything up and down. So we need to get... Each one of these is going to be split. The rest can go... Well, we can go out. We can go up the outside of the building too. If we wanted to. We don't have to bring them all in on the same floor. So like this could also go there. Where is that other floor? Oh, here it is here. Did I mess that up? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, there's no single wall port with multiple choices, so you can use doors try and get your factories to look good. So yeah, rather than bringing all 3 of these in on the same height, what we could end up having is like one coming in there, the other one could go there, and then the other one can go to there. That could look cool. How to get everything up there, though. Well, we know we need at least one of these belts is going to come in and get split, and we probably shouldn't bring them in at ground level. We should probably bring them in a little bit higher. So I don't know which one we would grab, but it would eventually be split and then taken these two. The 1/600 belt will do this entire floor. Need 300 here and 300 there. So what we could and should do is split them behind the wall. We could also bring that underneath. I think it used to go underneath, as a matter of fact. So I've got 4 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the top floor has got 2050 coming in. That's a lot. No, it's got 600 per minute. That's the same. It's the same on every floor. It should be anyway. I think the problem is that I'm realizing that I've got these 2 belts when I probably only need 1. So I'm going to switch this to a 2. Even though probably only going to be 1. That's 1, 2, 3. So what we should do is use this bottom part as our input to this level. What I've come to realize is that you want to use your top belts first, so you don't run into overlapping issues later. Well, this becomes a lot easier then, because then we've got 2 belts, each with 300 on them. And then it's just a matter of whether we want to do overflow or reverse overflow. One, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So with the reverse overflow, it just means things are a little bit more efficient. We would, however, need to put a splitter either here or do the split behind the wall, which we might actually do. Oh, right. So that could still be fun. Take it easy, Master Zen. Have a good one. Why are these facing the wrong way? Right, so if we do that, then we would need to have input to this come in somewhere. Probably with this along the wall. We can tidy that up later and make it look nice. And then this other piece can go all the way down the other end. Oh, that's too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's nice and tidy. I'm okay with that. Or we could... Oh no, that gets in the way. That's too bad. Well, you can go really funky with it. That's gonna look, that's a little bit ridiculous. Yeah. Just not quite what I want. Oh, but that's in the way of the belt. Maybe we'll have to run it along the wall. If this came out the side... What does this look like? Is that the right height? Yeah, okay. And then if we continue these down this way, and then here, we could just put it right where it needs to be. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Cool. So then all of these are going to be facing the other way. 2, 3, 4. Do we need one there? No, we don't need one there. So we can do the same thing here. Or that's gonna be too close. Say we could use 3. Could use the 3-slot thing and have the middle one go right into this one. Let's see if that looks better. Probably the simpler way to do it. Yep. That's cool, except for, of course, we got this giant hole here. What I would do is probably just add one of these going nowhere, just so that it wasn't an empty spot. So then we have to figure out which one of these lines... oh no, we don't have to split them at all. We just bring them in here and run them. We'll run one along the wall and then run one high, right? That goes there. This goes here. And then we just use the old wall things. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Oh, I remembered. Nice. I can remove that. And then just echo these higher. So there's 600 per minute divided in half. Oh no, I have to divide them in half again. Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah, I need this 300 line divided into 150. So 150 in this window, 150 in that window. So for that, I guess we would just grab a foundation. And then this is going to have to be mirrored again over here. So we can use this. This is fine. We won't need these. And it'll be this one. So it'll actually be this line that we split. This has to go 50-50, so we'll do splitter here. The merger. Guess it doesn't really matter where we do it. I guess here would make the most sense. So then all we would do here is use the wall thing. What are they called? Keep on calling them like wall thingies and other names that are not. Conveyor wall mount. Wall mount. That's easy to remember. Alright, so that's one. Then this one would just come out here. And that's two. And we could even hide that further if we wanted to. There's no need, because this is all kind of like behind the wall of the factory. I don't even know if we need this. Nope. Still like to have things like structurally make sense when I can. So then this isn't needed. And I'll have to do the split again. So we'll just mirror the whole thing. Why does that feel too close? It's right on the line. do find perspective tricky in this game. This... It looks like it's the right distance, but I'm not sure. We still put a lift here if we wanted to? Yes, we can. Beautiful. Lots of room to walk around. And then same thing here. We'll do this facing that way. This will go down the wall. Losing my light. There's the middle here. Grab that. Cool. So then we'll just mirror that and bring everything else down. The only thing I want to sort out now is how to do the split. So we'll do this just for fun. Is it on the inside? Yeah. And then I guess we just have to take these along. And we know that we want that belt to split into two more. So I guess we'll put the splitter here. And that means right, I ran that along the wall, which we can't do here if we have that in the way. Well, sure we can. We'll just switch this around. To come in from the back, we'll take this one. Run it in there. Put a splitter, not a splitter, oh, that's part of the outside. Okay. Well, no big deal. I think if we move this a little bit to the side, should be good. A little bit wonky, but like sometimes in this game you can't help it. And then we just need another wall support. And then this would have a wall support over here. Oh, it was so close. Oh, that didn't work either. What? There we go. So, the other line of 300 will come in here, be split in half. Half goes up over top, and half goes around the bottom. Spaghetti, but it'll do. It'll do the job. It'll do the job. So I kind of feel like we can just leave these. A couple supports there. I think a couple supports there is all we need. Might as well just leave the whole thing back there. This may not be here. We may not need these. Right on. So that's a good map, and a good way to just mirror the other 4 floors, which is what we'll end up doing next time. Yeah. As the sun comes up, it is about that time for me to end the stream because I am starving. But we're having a pretty good time with the volume of material now we're bringing into the base. We've got something like 2,400 iron ore. And that's just on the front. We've got other stuff coming in the back as well. Really looking forward to starting to build the insides of these buildings, getting all that kind of stuff taken care of, and like moving the production down the Devastator factory. But if you've enjoyed this, then make sure you leave a follow before you take off. I'm going to try to pass you on to somebody else playing Satisfactory. Barring that, we'll try to pass you off to somebody playing Minecraft. The Spawn Chunks at thespawnchunks.com, the Citadel Cafe at thecitadelcafe.com, and patreon.com/Joel Duggan are 3 of the best ways to support me. If you enjoy free podcasts, go listen. If you are so inclined to support the content that I make here on Twitch, Tier 1 sub or Patreon are the best ways to do it. And I truly appreciate all of it. It's been a fantastic weekend, and I hope you have a great Sunday evening. We'll see you folks later. Bye for now.